Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Charles, and you are watching Crime Time. Today I have a story, and it's called The Last Supper: Executed Serial Killers and Their Death Row Meals. So, I actually did a reaction video about death row inmates' last meals on one of my YouTube channels, so go back and check it out. Um, And it says the loose definition of a serial killer is the murder of at least two individuals by the same person or persons in separate events at different times. For many of us, it is almost impossible to imagine carrying out one murder, let alone multiple. But it is unfortunately something that does make headlines from time to time. It's unsurprising that convicted serial killers are often met with the harshest of punishment, such as the death penalty. Ted Bundy is arguably America's most prolific and infamous serial killer. On the 24th of January 1989, Bundy met his end at Florida State Prison on the electric chair, but he's by no means the only serial killer to die at the hands of an executioner. This number stands at approximately 110 to date. Let's take a look at some of them in the final males in a little more detail. The execution of Ted Bundy, his body stiffened and his hands clenched. As Bundy was led to the death chamber to the step to Old Sparky on the 24th of January 1989, he appeared to be afraid. John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy has 33 victims to his name. Only Bundy outnumbers this figure at officially 35, though his tally could actually be much higher. However, Gacy has the grim honor of having the highest when it comes to young men and boys on May 10th, 1994. Gacy's time ran out in Stateville Correctional Center, Illinois, after a final meal of KFC fried chicken, French fries, fried prawns, and fresh strawberries. Bundy has steak, eggs, toast with butter and jam, hash browns, coffee, and juice, but he didn't touch any of it. Gacy was loaded onto the execution gurney, strapped down, and had the entrance line studded into his right arm. The first set of chemicals, sodium thiopental, successfully knocked Gacy out. However, the execution was delayed by 10 minutes because the pendicurum bromide, which is designed to stop breathing, was blocked and then administered properly. A final dose of potassium chloride eventually stopped Gacy's heart, and after that was considered a botched execution. The killer clown lay dead. Around 9,000 people were executed in the U.S. between 1890 and 2010. Of these, officially 1 and 32 were botched. Lethal injection is the most botched form of execution, with just over 7% running into some form of difficulty. This compares to 3% for hanging and another 2% for the electric chair. H. Holmes actually talked about his story too. Speaking of hanging, H. Holmes is widely regarded as America's first serial killer and was executed on the 7th of May of 1896. However, its serial killer label is in some dispute as he was only convicted of one murder. Separating fact from fiction when it comes to H. Holmes and problematic because no one knows how many people he murdered. Initially, Holmes claimed to have murdered 27, but some of them were actually found alive and well. After a breakfast of eggs, toast, and coffee, he confessed to only two murders and was strapped beneath the gallows. The reason for this lack of clarity is largely down to a combination of dishonesty on his part, backed by over-exuberant journalism. What we do know is that Dr. Holmes was a polygamist. He was married to three women at one time and a serial fraudster, and later respected. related respect. Used to disfigured corpse, corpses claims that been involved in an accident and pocket their insurance. What is unclear are the facts that surround his so-called murder hotel. Despite blueprints revealing 100 windowless rooms, 51 doorways that opened to brick walls, stairs that led to nowhere, and suspicious chutes down to an incinerator. Evidence suggests it was never used. The hotel burned down in suspicious circumstances in 1895, the years after it was built, so it's unlikely we'd ever know the truth. If lethal injection is the most unreliable method of execution, the gas chamber is a close second. 24 inmates have been executed by inhaling cyanide gas in the USA in offer of the following dispatched in San Quentin State Prison with serial killers. One of these was Joe Aretti, who received a pardon 72 years after his death. The Hobo Killer. The first was Lloyd Gomes, dubbed the Fentanyl Hobo Killer. Gomez was also the most frequent in terms of his victims, having robbed and killed 9 homeless men in the space of about a year. His last meal eaten in 1953 of fried chicken, fried potatoes, peas, tomato, and lettuce salad, toast, apple pie, and coffee is one of the most substantial on this page. Guest Chamber Special. Harvey Glinton's self-paying gas chamber special in 1959 is only one half of its final gastronomic story. Glinton, an auto asphyxiated obsessed strangler who robbed 3 young women of the features ate shrimp cocktail, rare T-bone steak, French fries, banana split, and a soda for his supper. On the morning of his execution, he also polished of eggs, bacon, toast jam, orange juice, and coffee for breakfast. A couple of hours later, he was no more. For the record, regarding the other 2 serial killers that were gassed in the USA, there are no immediate records to determine what Vander Lee Duncan had for his final memory in 1959, anything at all. David Edward Mason refused his last meal in 1993, but requested that he and his family have been granted permission to spend the last day with him, dine on regular prison food. Eileen Warnos. I actually talked about her story. Eileen Warnos is the 10th female serial killer in U.S. history to have been executed, yet she's arguably the most notorious in Florida State Prison in 2002 after refusing her last meal in favor of a final cup of coffee, her lethal injection on the head without any problems, a direct contract to the rest of her unimaginable tortured life. One else murdered 7 men while working as a prostitute, but claims to have acted in self-defense. However, this allegation is undetermined by the fact that all her victims, expected for one, were shot multiple times at point blank range. Gary Ray Bowles. The last high profile serial killer to be executed in the USA was Gary Ray Bowles, aka the 195 Killer. Bowles had turned to prostitution as a teenager following a traumatic childhood. He'd been in jail twice, but embarked on a killing spree after he was released in 1994. During which he murdered 6 men, Ray Bowles spent over 20 years on death row in Florida State Prison for his lethal injection in August of 2019, but only after a final meal of 3 cheeseburgers and a side of French fries. That'll the end of the video. Um, Let me know down below, what would you consider to have on death row? And let me say this. You know, if I was the head of the prison, working for the prison, there will not be no such thing as last male on death row. That all would have been shot down. The last male that these prisoners will get before their execution will be the prison food. We're rewarding bad behavior as a last male. And for somebody to kill multiple people and then get pints of strawberries, ice cream, pizza, all that before execution tells me that, you know, how do you think the family will feel giving these people their last meals, like a 5-star restaurant meals before they're executed? You see what I'm saying? You know, I do think that last meals is probably not a great idea because a lot of time the inmates, anyways, don't even really eat the food, so you're wasting 5-course meals, bringing them all that food. They're never gonna eat it, so it's gonna go to waste, sit in a cell, or they're taken to death row. And in Texas, speaking of death row, they no longer do last meals for death row inmates because the last death row inmate to order food never ate it. And I think that all states needs to stop doing last meals for death row, especially 5-course meals, because I mean what they did was heinous, and then we're feeding them 5-course meals before they executed. You see what I'm saying? So we're basically wasting good food on bad people. So I think they should have been in prison food. And tell me think about this segment. Like, comment, subscribe. Usually I don't drop um, my videos on Thursday on this channel. I drop it on Wednesdays, which was yesterday. But I was kind of busy yesterday. I kind of forgot yesterday. So I'm going to drop it today to yesterday. And I'll also be back on this channel on Saturday. So I'll be back on this channel on Saturday. Comment down below what you want me to drop on Saturday, and I will drop it for you guys. Just let me know down below. Please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to my reaction channel. That's Charles Reactions. Hit my Cash App up. That's money sign capital CPA 106. And also hit my Saved by Treasure channel up. Subscribe there. I have 8 subscribers on that platform. Give me about the same amount on this platform, and on my reaction platform, give me about the same amount. And lots of awareness, and I love doing what I do. And without you guys, I don't think I'll be doing YouTube. But I love doing YouTube. YouTube is something that gets me through the day, and I'm happy to spread awareness to my Saved by Children channel, and also to a Crime Time channel and my reaction channel. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. Peace.